when I twisted my ankle at third was totally isolated incident. Had nothing to do with what happened at the All-Star game and nothing to do with what happened at first base. The guy was catching the ball, and he slowed down to step on the bag. I felt like I had a chance to break the double play up, and I slid. But as I slid, my cleat got caught in the dirt, and I just rolled over my ankle a little bit. But it wasn't as bad as I thought at first. It was painful, and definitely had some swelling and restricted movement yesterday, but everything's improving a lot.
brought to you by your local independently owned Home Hardware or Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Beautiful day in Toronto. The roof at Rogers Center is wide open for a spectacularly sunny day. Beautiful blue sky. Third game of a four-game series against the New York Yankees. John Fair looks at his lineup. No Jose Bautista for a second consecutive day. On Thursday night, after his third at bat, Bautista had an interesting trip around the bases, a couple of different situations, and he met moments ago with the media to address his injuries.
At first, I just kind of jammed my heel a little bit. I was reaching for the bag, and then it's just I jammed my heel. It hurt a little bit, but I was fine. When I twisted my ankle at third was totally isolated incident. Had nothing to do with what happened at the All-Star game and nothing to do with what happened on first base. The guy was catching the ball, and he slowed down to step on the bag. I felt like I had a chance to break the double play up, and I slid, but as I slid, my cleat got caught in the dirt, and I just rolled over my ankle a little bit. But it wasn't as bad as I thought at first. It was painful, and definitely had some swelling and restricted movement yesterday, but everything's improving a lot.
Jose Bautista is out of the walking boot. He's got a little bit of a support, but he is much better today than he was yesterday.
It's always a good sign. It's going to take a few days. You got to get off it. You got to let it heal. Remember, that's that right foot. That's the anchor foot in his swing.
Yankees have lost the first two games of this series. Let's take a look at their starting lineup. The lineup is brought to you by TD Canada Trust. Banking can be this comfortable. The captain, Derek Jeter, will lead things up. Curtis Granderson is the DH for the first time with the Yankees. Mark Teixeira at first. He's had a tough series against the Blue Jays. Robinson, Cano, Nick Swisher, Andrew Jones. 2 home runs in the opener of this 4-game series. Brett Gardner plays center field for just the third time this season. Eduardo Nunez at third, and Francisco Cervelli behind the plate.
Ricky Romero will make the start. The starting pitcher brought to you by Tim Hortons Original Biscuit Breakfast Sandwich. Now with hickory smoked ham, Romero takes the mound for his 19th start. His last start was 10 days ago. That was the game in Boston. Broke a string of 5 quality starts for Romero. He allowed 6 earned runs in his shortest outing of the season, lasting just 4 1/3 innings. Just outside the top 10 in ERA and just outside the top 10 in batting average against. Romero has been sensational. He's done everything but have a winning record.
7-8 to start the game. Throws a first pitch to Derek Jeter just off the plate outside. One thing the Blue Jays have done in this series and allowed them to take the first 2 games, they've kept the Yankees off the scoreboard early.
And everybody knows when the Yankees score early, they've got a great record, 42-13 when they score first.
Bouncing ball to the sure-handed shortstop. Now Escobar retires Derek Jeter.
One other thing that the Blue Jays have done so far in these 2 games, they've played great defense, and this is how they will line up this afternoon behind Ricky Romero, Snyder, Davis, and Thames. Eric Thames back in the outfield. That's a good sign. Escobar, Hill up the middle, Lind and Johnny Mack with the start at third base. JP Arencibe behind the plate. This is the 15th start for John McDonald at third base, and we saw some glove work yesterday.
Infield really sharp, on their toes all throughout the game. Edwin Encarnacion played at third base yesterday. Romero misses the outside corner to the DH, Curtis Granderson.
Great numbers for Granderson. You see 25 home runs to go along with 15 stolen bases. The first Yankee ever to have those type of numbers before the All-Star game. Think about all the great hitters and players that they have had. He is the first one to get 25 homers and 15 bags before the All-Star game.
When you really look at what he has done, it's remarkable for a center fielder. He has already surpassed his home run total from a year ago with 25 homers. Last year he hit 24 the entire 2010 season. He's like the Blue Jays pitching, 3 home runs and a .400 average this season.
Built for Yankee Stadium. It's always been a thing for the Yankees. Get a lot of left-handed batters, try and pull the ball into the seats in right field, and that's the type of hitter I think that Granderson has become.
There's a fly ball. Eric Thames back in right field here this afternoon. Dogs in, makes the catch. 2 quick outs.
It's a good sign. The scouting report for Ricky Romero brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. Fastball strikes. You're going to have to get that from Romero here When he does that, when he stays over the mound, it just opens everything up. Like when he drops in his curveball, most effective when he is throwing it for strikes. And easy does it, I think, with Romero. The easier, the better. When he just lays back, frees himself up, and it helps him throw more strikes.
Mark Teixeira, the first baseman, 1 for 9 in the series so far.
When pitchers try to force things, that's when I think especially Ricky Romero gets into trouble. When he just is free and easy, like we saw in yesterday's game with Brandon Morrow, that's when the ball comes out of his hands. So nice.
Ball on the strike. Well, think about it. Any athletic endeavor, when you're more relaxed, I don't care if you're playing tennis or golf or shooting a basketball, you take the tension out of your game, you're going to perform better.
In his last start 10 days ago, it looked like he had a lot of tension in his pitching motion, in his arm swing.
And a drive to right field. Thames has room in front of the truck, makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down, first inning. The Blue Jays continue to shut down the Yankees early in the ball game. CC Sabathia, with his major league leading 13 wins, will take them out when we come back. Against New York in this series. They have outscored the Yankees 23-8 so far in the first 2 games. Rajai Davis leads off for a second consecutive day. Eric Thames back in right field. He was the DH in last night's game. You know, Escobar with 3 hits as the number 3 hitter last night. Lind, Encarnacion, and Aaron Hill, middle of the order. Travis Snyder with a red-hot bat. JP Arencibio, 4-game hit streak. And John McDonald continues to fill in at third base.
Facing CC Sabathia, makes his team-high 21st start of the season. His 14th career start versus the Blue Jays, and his second this season. He is all over the leaderboard in the American League. The 13 wins, that's number 1 in the American League and the Major League. Innings pitched, he is second. Strikeouts, he is up there 5th in the American League. So Blue Jays are in tough this afternoon.
CC Sabathia will turn 31 years old in 5 days. July 21st. Surely one of the premier pitchers in all of baseball. Rajai Davis leading off. Couple of fastballs up and away. Like so many pitchers, CC Sabathia might give you a window of opportunity early in the ball game before he really gets his release point zeroed in and commands that strike zone.
We certainly saw that the last time Sabathia pitched against the Blue Jays. That was in New York at the end of May. Started off very slowly in that game. Had a lot of base runners early, but then about the 3rd, 4th inning, he found it, started changing his approach to the Blue Jays, and he ended up throwing a complete game.
3-1. Blue Jays scored 3 runs off Sabathia back on the 24th of May in the 4th inning. That gave them a 4-1 lead at the time, but the Yankees scored 2 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th to come back and win it. Full count. Nothing but fastballs early on for Sabathia as he's trying to get his command zeroed in here.
And he will do that. And that's what we were talking about in the opening, that you've got to get him early in the count before he can set you up with all his other weapons.
Leadoff walk.
Defensively for the Yankees, they have committed 5 errors in the first 2 games in this series. Jones, Gardner, and Swisher in the outfield. Jeter, Cano in the middle. Eduardo Nunez at third base, taking over for A-Rod. Teixeira, the 4-time Gold Glover, over at first base. Francisco Cervelli behind the plate. That's the first time we have seen him in this series. And there's Brett Gardner, just his 3rd start in center field. You mentioned that Granderson gets the half day off by DHing. He can really run.
There goes Davis on the first pitch. The throw from his knees is into center field. Rajay didn't pick up on it right away, that the ball bounced past second base. But he has the steal, and you could bet on that. Cervelli has not done a very good job all year long. He's just caught 2 of 22 base stealers.
Right now you can see he goes on the first movement. It looks like he's putting on his gloves as he decoys CC Sabathia into that steal, his 25th of the season. And now watch him at second base also. He's got the best stolen base ratio of 3rd in the big leagues.
Eric Thames, high fly ball to left. Rajay Davis going back to tag Andrew Jones in left. 1 out. Davis has to hold his ground.
And he is very dangerous again when he's at second base. 14 for 14 in stealing third base this year, the best in all of baseball.
Michael Bourne of the Astros had 10 steals of third. He's second. But Davis, boy, if he can get a walking lead, it's academic.
And it looked like he had that with the left-handed batter at the plate in Thames. Jeter was not covering, and now Cano is going to sneak right behind him. It looks like he's almost going to hold him on like a first baseman. He sees those numbers just like we do.
Yanel Escobar batting third. Filling in for Jose Bautista. He had 3 hits in the game last night. Also had a walk. Drove in a run. Drove in 2 runs and scored a run. Robbie Cano is going to come in and talk to CC Sabathia. Obviously, there's been a lot of controversy in the first 2 games about the Blue Jays relaying signals from second base. And Joe Girardi took it even a step further before the game today, talking about the possibility of some outside assistance for the Blue Jays here at Rogers Center. Well, this is great because Sabathia's attention is certainly divided.
Split it up between the runner and the batter. Cano goes in and talks to him just to remind him, okay, if I might put on a pickoff play here, give him a long look. And that's a good sign right there.
Yeah, any pitcher, especially in the first inning, you're trying to get into your game, trying to really command the strike zone. And now you got the distraction of Rajay Davis there at second base. And a dangerous hitter in Escobar. Sabathia can't do anything about Davis.
Nope.
He is not quick enough to wheel and pick him off at second. And Robinson Cano is standing right there, almost on the dirt at second base.
Well, one thing he can do, he can give him a couple of looks, and that's what he's doing right now. He's giving him a long look, then he's turning to home. If he gives him just one look, Davis is going to pick up on that and take off.
There's a strike. CC Sabathia with a 13-4 record, most wins in the majors. There goes Davis. He got a good jump. Bounce past Cano, and Davis will come in to score. Yanel Escobar hit it about 2 feet from Robinson Cano, but it was hit so hard Cano couldn't make the play on it. The Blue Jays have jumped out to an early lead.
He was playing behind the runner and then tried to move back, and the ball was hit right where he was standing before he moved. Davis takes off. You see Cano move and then have to move back. If he just stands his ground, it's a line drive double play. But he moves out of the way. The Blue Jays score the first run of the game on an RBI single by Escobar.
If you don't think speed has value in something other than stolen bases, you're mistaken. Robinson Cano was taken out of his game because of Rajai Davis' speed. And CC Sabathia certainly was distracted as well.
Certainly. And that's, I think, the way this game is starting to move back to. Lots of athletes on the field where you can create runs.
Adam Lind is in a hole 0-2. Lind is 3 for 9 in this series. He's just 0 for 2 against CC Sabathia. Now the breaking ball down and away. Lind strikes out. That'll bring to the plate the DH Edwin Encarnacion. He is 4 for 6 in his series, swinging a red hot bat.
Just one of 4 very hot bats for the Blue Jays in these recent games. Encarnacion 550 in his last 5. We just saw Escobar pick up the RBIs. Certainly Snyder and Thames belong in that category.
First pitch swinging, fouls off the 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
One thing that Encarnacion brings to the table that the other young hitters might not in this early part of their career is his ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark on a mistake. He only has 6 home runs, but just that threat of the home run and the extra base hit.
There's a bullet down the left field line. That is a foul ball. CC Sabathia came into this game with 23 2/3 innings of scoreless pitching. That was snapped at 24. He got an out before Escobar delivered the RBI base hit. That snapped his scoreless streak.
That was the longest of his career and the longest by a Yankee since May of 1980. The Yankee starter.
0-2, 2 outs. Breaking ball, and Encarnacion strikes out. 2 strikeouts in the inning. But the Blue Jays have scored first. 10 first-inning runs in the series so far. Blue Jays lead it 1-0. For the season, this is his 19th start, and he has pitched his way into the elite left-handers in the American League East.
Into the equation, Sabathia, Lester Price, and Romero wins by left-hander since the beginning of 2009. And you know what's impressive about those 4 pitchers? They're all in the American League East, so they're facing the Yankees and the Red Sox and Tampa. You know, you're not facing some teams that are at the bottom of the American League and hit it. You're facing the best.
Day in and day out. And Ricky Romero is up to the challenge. Romero just off his first All-Star appearance. Did not appear in a game. Made the All-Star team for the first time. In his 3rd big league season. Robinson Cano. He was shut out in last night's game. Had 3 hits in the opener. But 0 for 4 last night.
Came into that game last night just a tick under 400 against the Blue Jays this year. Hits the ball all over the field. Doesn't matter lefty, righty. When you can hit, it doesn't matter who's throwing. And Cano can certainly hit.
First time I saw Robinson Cano when he came to camp with the Yankees, the great Yogi Berra was sitting at the batting cage and said, this guy's going to win a batting title one day.
Well, you can just watch it in his approach at the plate. Keeps his front shoulder in. Can spray the ball all over the field. Don Mattingly was their hitting coach when he came up, and he said, keep an eye on this guy. He can hit the ball the other way, and pretty soon he's going to become a home run hitter. How prophetic.
He's done that. 15 homers so far. 2-2. Change up in the dirt. Cano has hit .343 against lefty pitching this year. He covers the ball away. He's quick enough to handle anything inside, and he is truly one of the toughest outs in the American League. Sinking fastball. We talk about a great pitching matchup. Romero in his 3rd season, CC Sabathia in his 11th season, but go back to their first 79 games and compare their careers.
I think CC Sabathia is the gold standard when it comes to left-handers. And if you compare the first 79 starts between these two, look how similar they are. 34 wins for Romero, 35 for Sabathia, a better ERA for Ricky. Oh, what a pitch.
Down and in two-seamer over Matt Robinson Cano, and that's what they did with him last night. They struck him out down and in, but this sinking fastball really moves inside.
Mark Zabczynski got him last night with the same type of pitch, just crowding him, keeping the ball in on his hands so he can't extend through. That note on Romero, again, pitching in the American League East where you're facing the Yankees and the Red Sox and Tampa 18 times a year. Pretty impressive numbers.
First pitch swinging is Nick Swisher, the right fielder. Well, I'll take it a step further. CC Sabathia made his first 79 starts in the AL Central for Cleveland. Not the same caliber of oppositions.
You know, it's just a fact of life. You know, a little bit easier to face some of those teams.
Swisher's out in front. Into the seats. Another great crowd here at Rogers Center. Over 33,000 the first 2 games. 37,000 on Thursday night. Another big crowd here. Great walk-up crowd on a beautiful day here at Rogers Center. You mentioned Ricky Romero, in his last start before the All-Star break was tense. It looked like he really had something on his mind. It was probably that he was auditioning for the All-Star team, trying to pitch well, and there was some question as to whether or not pitchers would go. And I think he just had that in the back of his mind.
That was the Wednesday before the All-Star break, and that was the day that they were going to take pitchers who were going to become the designated pitchers in the All-Star game, meaning that if it got past a certain time in the All-Star break, they needed pitchers, if they went to extra innings, who pitched on Wednesday and who was available.
As a drive to center field, Rajay Davis is back. It's over his head and out of the ballpark. A ground rule double for Nick Swisher. I don't think Rajay Davis picked up that ball off the bat. Looked like he took a step in before he realized it was hit pretty hard.
Yeah, smoked to center field by Swisher. You see on this replay here, the ball right over his head, and you're right, he shuffled a bit in, and the ball took off on him. One of the toughest plays for an outfielder is that line drive right over your head.
Swisher with his 18th double of the season. We talk about how tough it is on fly balls on a bright sunny day. Sometimes it's tough to pick up the ball with the background behind home plate.
Got all the white shirts. You've got the glare. That's where you got to get a lot of help from the corner outfielders. They'll tell you back, they'll tell you in, help you read the ball.
Andrew Jones, 2 home run night in the opener on Thursday night. He drove in 4 runs, a solo home run and a 3-run homer, both coming off of JoJo Reyes. And he lines it down the left field line. Swisher coming around third. He's going to score, and Andrew Jones has tied up the game. Jones isn't hitting much, but boy, he's coming up with big hits. His 17th RBI has tied it at 1-1.
All against left-handed pitching. That's what he is in there for. Just trying to look for a ball where he can pull. And that's exactly what he gets. Down and in, and he yanks it into the corner for the RBI single. Ball's cut off by Snyder and gets it in, keeps the double play in order. But that's what Andrew Jones does.
So with Jones at first, Brett Gardner playing in center field today will stand in. Upstairs. Gardner got off to a slow start this season, but he's got his average up to 272. He had 3 hits in the opener and another hit last night. Downstairs. He has hit Ricky Romero well in the past. He's 5 for 12. And over his last 9 games, he's hit over 300.
Extra base pop. Can also run. We saw him last night hit a 2-hopper to the first baseman Lynn, and he beats it out.
Ball bounces away from Land, and Hill's there to back him up. Romero used that step-off pick-off throw where he steps off the rubber and gives a short, quick throw. He threw it in the dirt and handcuffed Adam Lynn.
It's the step-off throw. You're just trying to get the runner leaning out on that front foot, take it by surprise.
Ball is popped out of play. Ricky Romero, his whole career has been spent with Blue Jays pitching against American League East opponents, and you can see how he has matched up against the other 4 clubs.
And you can see how tough it is to face the Yankees as many times as he has, and the Red Sox certainly have been his kryptonite so far in his career, but the Orioles and the Rays, 2 other teams that he has had good times with.
There's a base hit down the right field line. Gardner is headed for second. Andrew Jones is going into third base. Thames gets the ball into the cutoff man, and Jones will be held at third. But Gardner continues to swing the bat well against Ricky Romero.
Staying on top of that ball. First inning, everything was down for Romero. Now look where everything is. It's up. Lefties are going to pound that ball. A little backup slider on the inner half, and it's up. Gardner bangs it down the right field line, extra bases. 14th double of the season for Gardner.
Third baseman Eduardo Nunez with 2 on. Second and third, 1 out. Infield in the middle is going to play back. Corner infielders are in. Nunez is a very aggressive hitter. He's a free swinger. He'll pull the ball an awful lot, and he'll be subject to that changeup. That's a pitch I think that will really create problems for him.
He hasn't had a lot of at-bats versus Romero. Doesn't know him that well. He does have the 15 RBIs like you mentioned.
Bouncing ball. McDowell has to unload in a hurry. They get Nunez at first, but Jones scores to give the Yankees the lead. And Nunez gets the RBI. Andrew Jones drove in the first run and scores the second. So with Gardner at third base, 2 down. Romero has thrown 31 pitches. The catcher, Francisco Cervelli, will bat. Of course, Gardner with great speed down at third, just 90 feet away from scoring. Anything in the dirt, Aaron Seavey is really going to have to smother it. Pushes Cervelli back. This is Cervelli's first game in 7 games. Martin's doing most of the catching of late.
Little day game after a night game. We get the youngster into the game. Give Russell Martin a day off. Cervelli, when he first came up for the Yankees, was getting big hit after big hit after big hit, and everybody was surprised of the offensive numbers. He is more of a catch and throw type defensive specialist behind the plate.
And he's only hit 2 home runs, but his first major league home run really sparked the Yankees back in June of 2009. They were really kind of lethargic playing the Braves in interleague play, and he got a big home run to win a ball game, and that boosted the Yankees to a hot streak. Just foul at third.
High energy. That's what you want to see, I think, from the catcher when he gets a chance to play, to get out there and give yourself some energy, keep the pitcher in the ball game, come up with some clutch hits. Jose Molina certainly does that for the Blue Jays. Jorge Posada has done it forever, it seems like.
Two balls, 2 strikes. 2 down here in the second. Cervelli lays off that breaking ball. Full count. Derek Jeter, the leadoff batter, is on deck. The Yankees have scored 2 here in the second. Takes the walk, and that'll turn the lineup over. A 2-out walk issued to the number 9 hitter, and Derek Jeter will bat with 2 on. Derek Jeter, no matter where he plays, he gets reaction.
That, I think, is out of respect for what he has accomplished and what he means to baseball. Some of that the fans are booing him, but I think that's because he's so good.
As good as he is with his 3,005 hits, Ricky Romero has owned him. Jeter just 2 for 21 against the Blue Jays left-hander. There goes Gardner, pitches outside, and Aaron Sevey doesn't make a throw. Nobody was covering second. They were going to keep their defense intact so they concede the base to Cervelli as Gardner holds his ground at third.
You know something's up when the catcher steals at first base and a very fast runner at third base. The double steal was on, I think, with the Yankees, and Aaron Sevey does the right thing and just eats that baseball. Just hold on to it so Gardner doesn't try and steal.
Jeter fights it off. Romero keeps that fastball right in on his hands. We talked about Jeter throughout this series, and there are the numbers against Ricky Romero. Not very good. But if I had to have one pitch in a crucial at bat, I would try down and in to Derek Jeter. I think he's so good at fighting that pitch up, and he can flare it into right field. Down and in, that's a tough pitch to flare.
Yeah, you can see it. It's a little bit closer to you when it is up. You can see it a little bit better, but down. Don't miss if you're going to go down there.
Off-speed pitch, and Romero gets out of the inning. Jeter strands too, but the Yankees have taken the lead. Aaron Hill, Travis Snyder, J.P. Arencibia will bat against C.C. Sabathia.
Sabathia, a strong arm starter, at least 30 starts in 9 of his 10 big leagues career. He'll get there again this year. His power plus with the fastball, the curveball, and the slider. The Blue Jays are going to have to make the adjustment to his changeup. That was the last time he did that, about the 4th or 5th inning, and he ended up with that complete game. But he's power plus. He'll come right after you, especially early in the count.
Sabathia fell behind early, but the Yankees have given him the lead. Blue Jays were up 4-1 against CC Sabathia in New York. He ended up winning that ball game with a complete game effort. Aaron Hill looks at a first pitch down for a ball. Hill's 2 for 9 in this series so far. Boy, Cervelli presents a very good visual back there. He holds that glove well out in front of his body, something to focus in on for CC Sabathia, really accentuating his target.
And he gets him down low, very low for that pitcher to stay over the plate.
When you think about a pitcher, he's into his windup, he's moving and everything else. The first thing you want him to see when he looks up and catches the glove again, you want him to see that glove and zero in on that target. Three and one. Cervelli truly understands what his job is, and that's to get the best out of the pitcher.
He's very animated back there. He's got a lot of energy, always pushing.
Not like that broke his bat. Andrew Jones coming in from left field. Long loping strides, makes an easy play of it.
The Jays on Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned Home Hardware or Home Hardware Building Center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Beautiful day on the shores of Lake Ontario. Lots of people out in the beautiful water. CC Sabathia 10-3 for his career against the Blue Jays with a very good ERA. This is his 14th start against Toronto.
Coming off his 12th career shutout. You know, we were talking about Cervelli and the way he presents himself back there and the energy that he brings. Reminds me a lot of Tony Pena, their catching instructor, bench coach for the New York Yankees. He was always a very high energy guy.
Always fired that ball back to the pitcher as if he was trying to get his attention. Travis Snyder, big bouncing ball for the third baseman. 2 quick outs.
He got lower than any catcher that I can ever remember when he was presenting his glove to the starting pitcher.
Yeah, he used to sit on his left leg, and he would extend his right leg out and really present a low target. Very good catching instructor, and it certainly had an impact on both Russell Martin and Francisco Cervelli.
Certainly knows the game, and you go over and talk to him, and he loves to talk about catching. He loves to work with the young catchers that they have here.
JP Arencibia takes a swing at the first pitch. Arencibia on a mini 4-game hit streak. He's at 353 over those 4 games.
Stay in the middle of the field. That's when JP is at his best.
.94 with the fastball. Sabathia's ahead.
He certainly can pull the ball. He's got that type of swing, but when he stays in the middle of the field, that's where the batting average will start to creep up.
Upstairs. Wanted Arencibia to chase.
Doesn't chase too many times. It seems like Arencibia has an idea when he is at the plate.
It runs off the end of the bat, popped up into shallow center field. The second baseman, Robinson Cano, final out of the second. A 1-2-3 inning for CC Sabathia. last night. Jesse Litch made a good start at Tucson for Las Vegas. 6 innings, no earned runs. Henderson Alvarez, another good start in Double-A.
Yeah, Jesse Litch will continue to pitch at AAA. 6 shutout innings. That was on the road. Alvarez and then Dustin McGowan. That is a nice sign right there. 2 2/3 innings, no earned runs. That was in A ball. And then Darno, the catcher. I think we talk about him every day. It seems like it this month.
Especially in this month of July, he's hit .480 for New Hampshire in Double-A during the month of July. Curtis Granderson. Granderson flied out to right against Romero the first time up. Romero falls behind Curtis Granderson. Ricky had a good first inning, a 1-2-3 first. He pitched ahead.
And then fell behind just like this. A 4-pitch walk.
To continue the story of the farm report, we're going to look at Travis d'Arnaud. The month of July, we mentioned he had .480 and a 1.369 OPS. He's reached base safely in his last 21 games.
And remember, he is a catcher, and it's getting hot, and he's playing every day. Usually catchers wear down. It looks like d'Arnaud is getting stronger as the summer wears on. .480 average in the month of July. It's very impressive for Double-A. And it's a good league, too, the Eastern League.
Just 22 years old. One of the younger position players in that league, and he's holding his own. Hitting cleanup as well. Mark Teixeira with Granderson at first. Ball on the strike. Teixeira with 25 home runs. He and Curtis Granderson, the first Yankee teammates to have 25 homers before the All-Star break since '61. That was the great year of Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle. They both had 25 or more before the break.
The M&M boys in '61. You know, you talk about the Bronx Bombers and you talk about all the home runs that the Yankees hit, but they've got some speed too. They can manufacture runs. They are third in the American League in stolen bases with 80. Well, now 81 after Cervelli stole second base. The Yankees aren't all about home runs. They can do other things.
Jeter has 8 steals. Granderson has 15. Brett Gardner has 23. Eduardo Nunez has 10. The game has turned back to the way the game was when Girardi started his career. Same for Tony Pena, when pitching and defense were emphasized and you could win games by stealing runs. Teixeira is overmatched as Romero strikes him out. It's the third strikeout of the afternoon for Ricky Romero.
Looks like he cuts a fastball right under the hands of Mark Teixeira as he swings wildly at those pitches. They're crowding him, keeping the ball inside on him.
So Robinson Cano will step in. Big lead at first for Granderson. And Romero picked up on that. Granderson walked to lead off the inning. Smart hitters like Cano pick up on patterns. He struck out on an inside fastball. First time up, there's another snap throw.
Struck out last night on an inside fastball from a left-hander. Struck out against Romero his first time. He might be sitting on that first pitch on the inner half right here, especially with the hole on the right side of the infield opened up for him.
Romero and Granderson, little chess match going on now. Ricky just held the ball until Cano asked for time. Yankees lead it 2-1. There's that inside fastball. Cano was sitting all over it. Granderson goes Around second, he's headed for third. You can't fall into patterns against good hitters.
It's just too smart, especially with the first baseman holding a runner on. There's a big hole on the right side of the infield. You go in there, and he's going to be ready for it. Snatches it right past Lind and down into the corner. He misses on the inner half and down.
You can see Aaron Sevy was set up away, but Cano was still looking fastball, and when Romero missed the outside target, threw it inside, Cano was all over it. So 1 out. Ricky Romero still has a chance to get out of this inning if he can get a ground ball from Nick Swisher. First pitch strike. Swisher doubled his first time up. Upstairs. Romero has a couple of different pitches to get that ground ball. He can sink the fastball. He can throw that very good changeup. Generally, you'd like to get Swisher out on that front foot, get him to roll over on something.
It's going to be hard because Swisher is a smart hitter, too. He grew up around the game. His dad played in the big leagues. And he's very patient at the plate, and he knows what his job is to do right now. Get a ball that's up so I can get the ball in the outfield and score that runner from third base. That time a little anxious on the change. But you're right. If Romero makes a good pitch, especially down and away, and he's thinking about pulling the ball, he can get the ball on the ground and get out of here.
Stays with it and fouls it into the seat. Swisher's hitting .395 with runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs. That's where he's at right now.
Smart. He's a smart hitter. He understands the game of baseball, and the adjustments that you have to make from at bat to at bat.
He's had 38 at bats in these situations. He has 31 RBIs in those 38 at bats. Drives this one deep to left field. That's over near the seat. Snyder is there, and it's out of play. Swisher did what he wanted to, got it up in the air to the outfield, but pulled it into the seats. Swisher was a little quick on that inside pitch. Now you'd think down and away might be a good spot to go.
You'd think that you can get one by him, but he was just too quick on the inner half. And I think that's why Aaron Sevy went out there to talk to Romero.
Aaron Sevy went through another set of signs for Ricky Romero. You don't think those 3 guys sitting on the bench are thinking about this next pitch? John Farrell, the manager, is a former pitching coach. Bruce Walton is the pitching coach, and Don Wakamatsu, the bench coach, is a catcher. They've all got an idea what they'd do in this situation. Laid out the brown ball in the dirt. Breaking ball.
Against the Yankees and against the Red Sox, if you don't throw a breaking ball for strikes, they are so disciplined and such good hitters, they don't even offer at it. And I think that's why Ricky, when he's not throwing his breaking ball for strikes or he's not throwing his changeup for strikes, has trouble against the Red Sox. And the ERA against the Yankees not very good. But when he's dropping that curveball in for strikes and he's throwing that changeup for strikes in a good spot, that's when he is very dangerous, very effective.
Down and away.
They'll even offer at it.
And you can see how patient Swisher is. He knows that he's got to make Romero throw a strike before he has to offer at it. Curtis Granderson, the leadoff walk. He's at third. Robinson Cano had a single to right. He's camped out at first. Full count, 1 out. Strike 3 call. Romero crossed up Swisher, and Swisher knew it. Dropped the breaking ball on him and gets a big strikeout.
Drop it in for a strike. You have to go in the strike zone, I think, to get the Yankee batters. And he drops that curveball when it's effective. When he's throwing for strikes, he's tough. A lot of times we talk about, you could expand the strike zone and you can go out and throw a pitch out of the strike zone to get strikeouts. I don't think you can do that against these teams.
Andrew Jones. Jones with 5 RBI in the series. The Yankees have scored 8 runs. Jones has driven in half of them. There's that curveball, catches the outside corner. That's a new dimension all of a sudden that's important for Romero. Ball in the dirt. Cano is headed for second. They've got him hung up. Hill has the ball. Granderson is breaking for home. Here's the throw over Aaron Sevilla, and Granderson scores. A high throw from Aaron Hill as Granderson broke to the plate. They had him dead to rights.
They certainly did. They had a chance to get Cano, but he did the right thing and stopped halfway between first and second base. Got in a rundown, and as the second baseman is chasing him back to first, there's Cano. He stops. As he's chasing him back to first base, he's got one eye on him and one eye on the runner. If he makes a good throw, he's out. But he sails it. Tough for a right-handed thrower to get your body all the way around and close it up to get him at home. And it just sails on Aaron.
Granderson did a good job of walking down the line with Aaron Hill once that rundown began. So the Yankees have scored. It's a 3-1 game. Cano is at third base. Boy, that's a tough run to give up. Blue Jays played it perfectly. Aaron Sevilla took his time and made a good throw to second base, but Hill's return throw to the plate was high over the catcher. The scoring, it's a wild pitch, ball in the dirt, and the run scores on the air by Hill. Romero thought he had the strike. Full count, 2 outs. Big bouncing ball. McDonald cuts in front of the shortstop. And Jones is retired, but the Yankees get a gift run. Take advantage of a bad throw by Aaron Hill. Take a 3-1 lead. For our nation's most talented performers. Auditions are being held in Vancouver, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Toronto, Montreal, and Halifax. Canada'sGotTalent.com has all the date and location information. We're looking for acts of all ages. Sign up now. Show up for Canada's Got Talent. Certainly a lot of folks here at Rogers Center, and a great weekend of baseball. The Yankees in for a 4-game series. Blue Jays have taken the first 2 games. John McDonald, former teammate of CC Sabathia, steps in to start the 3rd.
Johnny Mack certainly knows how to hit CC Sabathia.
Well, he thinks he does. He just 3 for 18, but he thinks you've got to be aggressive against Sabathia and look for fastballs early in the count. There's a high fastball, maybe up out of the zone. Sabathia came up with the Indians in 2001. McDonald broke in with Cleveland in 1999. He had 18 games in his first big league experience. Hits that ball right to the 3rd baseman. In the dirt, past Teixeira. McDonald took a step towards second, and he had to get back to the bag. Cervelli well past first base, backing up the play. That's textbook for a catcher.
Nunez with another error, his 12th of the season, filling in for Alex Rodriguez at 3rd base. He committed a big error the other night that led to 5 unearned runs. Has plenty of time. He just throws it right in the dirt. Not even Mark Teixeira can go down and get that one, but you are right. Francisco Cervelli, we've talked about the energy that he has. The catcher from behind the plate ends up running that one down.
That's where we were all taught to end up. You got no place else to be except backing up first. So the leadoff man's aboard. Back to the top of the order. Rajai Davis takes a strike. Nunez, as you mentioned, 12 errors now. That's the 3rd error he's committed at 3rd base. Yankees have kicked it around throughout the series. That's the 6th error they've committed.
Nunez is a shortstop.
Just foul
by trade, but he is not going to push Derek Jeter out of his position. They want to get him into the lineup. He's got some talent. He can run a little bit. He's got some speed. He's driven in 15 runs. One of their better prospects, but right now he's playing himself into an outfield position.
And he's been out there a few times. 0-2. Breaking ball down and in. Cervelli wanted the appeal. The veteran Jerry Davis down at first signaled no swing. And Nunez is playing in his 54th game. That's his 12th error. Ground ball, should be 2. Jeter to Cano for 1. Back to first, double play. Yankees turn 2. Last half inning. George Poulos, the head athletic trainer for the Blue Jays, is talking with Bruce Walton, the pitching coach. You can see him moving in his shoulder around. Might be something related to a player. Then Poulos goes down to relay a message to John Farrell. Obviously, we have no idea who he's talking about, but it's certainly about a player. And to make sure the pitching coach and the manager know, you would assume it's pitching related.
It's a pitcher, right.
Eric Thames flied to left his first time up. Thames getting his first look at CC Sabathia. Had a good start to this series. He had 5 hits in 8 at-bats in the first 2 games. Thames left the ball game last night after the 5th inning. He had 2 doubles in 3 at-bats, and he left with leg cramping. He would actually get 2 bags of IV solution, rehydrated himself, but he was the DH yesterday and put in a little too much pregame work. Goes too far, chases the slider, and he will strike out. CC Sabathia 3 strikeouts, gets the benefit of the double play. Quick inning for Sabathia. Food drive. Tomorrow the Blue Jays will wrap up this 4-game series with the Yankees. Before the game, bring your non-perishable items or monetary donations to gates 3, 5, 10, or 13, or purchase a mystery bag for $25, which will include an autographed item. All the proceeds will be donated to the Food Banks Canada. Call the Jays at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations for tickets. Lady Jays doing a great job of manning the gates and accepting those donations, whether it's monetary or non-perishable food items. So come on down to Rogers Center and make a contribution to a great cause.
When you're leaving for the ball game tomorrow, go ahead and get some macaroni and cheese and put them in your back pocket. Bring it down, and if you forget, just open up your wallet. It's a great pick.
One thing they're always in need of is baby formula. So it's a great cause and good effort by the Lady Jays, the wives of the Jays players. 2 balls and a strike to Brett Gardner. Gardner had a double down the right field line his first time up. Pops this one back out of play. We mentioned Ricky Romero with a 3-2 record against the Yankees. Brett Gardner hit a grand slam against Romero last year in one of his worst starts of his career. Gave up 8 runs in the 3rd inning in New York on July 3rd. The Yankees would go on to score 11 runs in that 3rd inning, 8 of those charged to Romero. And then Romero answered that effort with a complete game 2-hitter in August, as he beat the Yankees on their home turf.
This is a curveball here, trying to spin it to the outside corner, and it slips out of his hand. I remember those 2 games, the good and the bad.
Gardner loops this one into center field, into no man's land, and he's going to head for second. Davis laid back on it, and Gardner took advantage. Boy, he is hot. Pair of doubles already this afternoon. Little looper in front of Rajay Davis, and Brett Gardner, always running with his head up, took advantage.
And not taking anything for granted. He knows that he hits this ball off the end of the bat, and when he's watching Davis lay back on it, that's when he takes off. The ball spinning a couple times on Rajay. Gardner knows if you lay back with the great speed that he has, he can turn it on and turn it into a double. Right there, look at him. Cuts that corner and makes it easily into second base.
Nunez bunts it to the first base side of the mound. Romero off the mound makes a good play. Nunez does the job. He moves Gardner from second to third on the sacrifice.
Yankees using their legs and using their ability to manufacture runs. Gardner gets to second. They bunt him over, and now Cervelli up. We might see another bunt.
Watch Escobar extend and turn the cartwheel as he gloved that ball, not wanting the ball to get away.
Wasn't as nice as the Ben Revere flip between second and third on his triple last night.
How about that? A somersault at shortstop. Inside, Cervelli is a threat to bunt. He handles the bat well. He's got great speed at third base. Long look at Rob Thompson, the third base coach. John McDonald wants to make sure if there's any verbal exchange, he's right there.
A lot of times managers will give you one shot to drive him in swinging and then go to the bunt.
If it's timed perfectly, the sacrifice, even with the infield drawn in, is almost indefensible. If that runner at third holds until the pitcher's about ready to release the ball, there's not much you can do about it.
The only thing you can hope for is a firmly bunted ball back to the mound or a pop-up. But you're right, it is tough. And as a hitter, you're just trying to get the ball on the ground anywhere. You know that you've got a lot of speed at third base.
So now with 2 strikes, you would expect that Cervelli wouldn't bunt. Upstairs. Yankees lead it 3-1. We are in the top of the 4th inning. Blue Jays took a 1-0 lead in the first. Yankees came right back. Scored 2 in the second. Added a run in the third. Struck him out. Stayed right inside on the hands of Cervelli, and Romero gets a strikeout.
Well, they stayed inside against Cervelli. If he hits the ball, they're hoping to jam him, keep the ball in the infield. Cut fastball down and in, and they stayed one better. They got a strikeout. That's where you want to pitch a batter, especially a number 9 batter with a runner at third base and less than 2 out. Just try and crowd him and jam him.
Derek Jeter is 0 for 2 so far. He's just 1 for 10 in the series. Bounced foul. Jeter has had his problems with the Blue Jays over his last 18 games, hitting just a .51.
16 strikeouts in those last 18 games. And he finds ways to make things happen.
And you could see they handle Jeter, they handle the Yankees. 8-10. The Yankees are in those games. Tough play for Escobar. Long throw over the head of Lynn into the seats. That'll be another error and a run for the Yankees. Long throw deep in the hole, and Escobar airmails the first baseman.
I think he, is going to learn who the runner is and how much time he has. He has time to plant that foot and get a lot more on it and be a lot more accurate. He's got one of the best arms for an infielder in all of baseball. Has time, he rounds to it. And that time trying to throw on the run over everybody.
It's an infield base hit and an RBI for Derek Jeter. Escobar is charged with the error that allows Jeter to go to second. Escobar's 9th error of the season. The Yankees have taken advantage of a couple of defensive miscues. Ball on the strike to Curtis Granderson. Ground ball to first. Lynn stays with it. Beats Granderson to the bag, but the Yankees have an insurance run. They have taken a 3-run lead. As Escobar will lead things off, followed by Adam Lind and Edwin Encarnacion. Meet of the order to take on CC Sabathia. cherished free agents. The Yankees picked him up, signed him to a free agent contract December 18th of 2008. They paid a lot of money for him, but it's paid off.
53 wins, the most in baseball since he signed with the Yankees 3 seasons ago. Roy Halladay, Justin Verlander, second at 49 each. He also leads all active pitchers under the age of 31 in career wins with 170. He also leads in strikeouts and innings pitched. Those 170 wins before his 31st birthday. You said it's next Thursday. The last major leaguer to have as many wins prior to his 31st birthday, Catfish Hunter.
Wow. Catfish got an early start to his career. Came up with the Kansas City Athletics before they moved to Oakland in '68. Give you an idea what free agent starting pitching cost you? It's over $1 million a win. Whether it's career or during a year, you can figure on about $1 million, if not more, per win to sign a free agent starting pitcher.
2 things I have to say to that. Choose wisely, my son. First of all, when you're going to go out there and sign a free agent, and you better draft a lot of pitching when you have a chance to and develop your own starting pitching. Because by the time you want to get them when they're free agents, too much, too expensive.
Yeah. Phil Hughes will start tomorrow. He is on the left field screen, and he has had injury problems and velocity concerns all year. Many around the Yankees believe Phil Hughes in the second half is the key to their success.
Certainly. 18-game winner last year for New York. You team him at the top of the rotation with Sabathia, and A.J. Burnett, another free agent signing, I think is going to be important in the second half.
But if Hughes can bounce back and return to the form that allowed him to win 18 a year ago, team him up with A.J. Burnett. Freddie Garcia has already given the Yankees more than they could have expected, as has Bartolo Colon. They have Ivan Nova down in the minor leagues, who is throwing the ball very well. Sabathia thought he had Escobar struck out. And now he's asking the home plate umpire, was it down?
And pitch tracks will tell us if it was down. And it looks like a strike.
And that's why Sabathia waited so long, hoping to see the right arm of Todd Tishner go up. Full count. Emil Escobar leading off the 4th. Takes the walk. CC Sabathia signed with the Yankees. People thought maybe he was going back to the West Coast. He grew up in California, but here's what you get for $62 million. 3 seasons with the Yankees, 53 wins. So you can see he is right there, just about $1 million per win.
Yeah, just win. A good ERA, good whip. And also the knowledge of having a #1 guy who can match up. You get into the playoffs, you know who's starting game 1. You get into a 3-game series late in the season, you know you've got that big horse and you've got a chance to win.
Now, you can always think about who wins, and the people that lead the league in ERA, people that have the stud pitchers, they're playing in the postseason.
Durable, strong, they go deep into the game. CC Sabathia is a big man. About 6'7". He's got broad shoulders, very strong. Just remember a couple of years ago, before he came to the Yankees, when he was traded to the Milwaukee Brewers, and it was almost like he got the Brewers into the playoffs.
Bouncing ball past Cano into right field. Escobar will stop at second. Swisher has a good arm. Escobar showing good judgment there. Thought about going to third, but shut it down. First 2 reach here in the 4th.
Newton stays on this breaking ball. Sabathia struck him out his first time up. This time he stays on it and gets it by the Gold Glover Cano into right field. Here comes Escobar thinking about going first to third. But you don't want to make the first out over there, so he puts on the brakes.
Edwin Encarnacion struck out. First time up, takes a backdoor breaking ball for a strike. Encarnacion leads the Blue Jays with 20 doubles. Fights this one off, and it'll get into the seats. Now here's the one thing that Escobar brings to the table, and you talked about it before, the threat of knocking it out of the ballpark. Escobar gets on base with the leadoff walk. Lynn behind him singles to set the table for Encarnacion.
I think that's why Escobar stopped, because he knew the tying run was coming to the plate and has the ability to knock it out of the ballpark.
Off-speed pitch. Oh, and that's the development of CC Sabathia. Changeup strikes out Encarnacion first out of the inning.
Got to get him early in the count, or he'll start messing with you. Breaking ball down and away. Talking about that in the opening. He's got multiple ways to get you. He can ride that fastball up. He can try and backdoor you. He also has a fine changeup.
Big strikeout for Sabathia. Aaron Hill lines it to the third baseman, and Escobar is doubled up. So a promising start to the inning ends up on a double play. Sabathia has a 4-1 lead. Now it's time for a connected update. Here's Jamie Campbell, Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. So our Scouts Canada guest of TD Bank, front and center for Game 3 of this Yankee Blue Jays series, enjoying some ice cream on a hot day here at Rogers Center. Mark Teixeira takes a first pitch strike. Teixeira 0 for 2 so far. Teixeira, like CC Sabathia, signed with the Yankees as a free agent. Signed a free agent 8-year contract, January 6th of 2009. This is his third season with the Yankees. The contract will take him through the 2016 season. I can't imagine what I'm going to be doing in 2016.
Probably sitting right here with me, talking about, hey, you hear Mark Teixeira is a free agent after this year? Boston and Baltimore were the names that we heard with Teixeira.
One ball is shot down the right field line, but foul.
When he was a free agent, and then all of a sudden the Yankees came in and blew everybody away.
Teixeira grew up in the Baltimore area. His father went to Annapolis. He was a Navy pilot, so everybody kind of thought, well, he'd go back home and be the anchor of the Orioles. But when you get to that point of your career, and obviously Teixeira had made a lot of money as a player with Texas, and then so it went down to Atlanta. You pick your spots according to the best opportunity to win for most guys. A looper into center field. Davis backs up a few steps.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
One down for Robinson Cano. Greg Zahn talking about the Cano at bat last time up, how they tried to go away from him with a fastball. The ball crept back over the inner half and he ripped it into right.
Good hitters like the ball away from them, where they can see the ball, stay on it, use their hands, work their magic. Hitters don't like to be crowded.
The ball is off the end of the bat. It also is a product of pitching and the way the umpiring has changed over the years, favoring the hitters. Strike zone has gotten lower, if anything, and somewhat more conservative on the edges. So pitchers now have a difficult time pitching inside consistent. So as hitters, where you're going to really work on the outer 3/4 of the plate.
Do you think the era that we just went through with all the big muscle heads and all the home runs that they hit had something to do with that, about being afraid to throw inside too?
I think that had a lot to do with it, because you could jam a guy and the ball would fly out of the ballpark, and then it became a point of frustration for pitchers.
I've got another theory why pitchers don't pitch inside as much as they used to. Growing up, they're pitching against aluminum bats, and you throw inside to aluminum bats. In the olden days, you could crack a bat and feel good about yourself and get outs. You throw inside, they just don't know how to throw inside because they haven't been able to do it.
Now, there are several factors that have an impact on the way pitchers pitch. You see the elbow protection on Robinson Cano, and hitters wear those pads just part of their uniform now. And officially, those pads are to protect injured areas. I mean, that is the letter of the law. But most hitters wear them for armor. Cano's aboard with a 1-out walk. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Mike Stanton's going to be pretty good when he grows up. What a young talent he is. He was destined to go to USC to play tight end for the Trojans. He dropped to the second round. Florida rolled the dice and took a shot.
And that guy, if you've got fantasy baseball and you don't have him, try and trade for him right now. 40 home runs, put it in the bank.
He's got 20 home runs now. He moves ahead of Albert Pujols in that regard. He is currently 5th in the National League in home runs. And he's 21.
21.
That's what I mean. He'll be good when he grows up. Ball on a strike to Nick Swisher. Swisher got caught looking at a Romero curveball his last time up. Changeup. And you heard the commissioner of our fantasy league, Pat Tabler, endorse Mike Stanton, so make sure you go out and pick him up for the second half if you can get him.
I used to have him.
Oh, you traded him?
No, I let him go.
You want to talk about it?
No, I don't. I'll be on the couch behind the screen there.
We need to see your standings there, Commish. Breaking ball.
You know, one thing I've noticed about Romero this afternoon, and we've talked to Bruce Walton about this, when you're facing the Yankees and when you're facing the Red Sox, you have to go to your go-to pitch so many times. And it looks like Romero is doing that instead of pounding with that fastball early. He's really trying to mix it up.
Bounce that ball, and Aaron Sevilla couldn't smother it. Cano goes to second. He stops there. That looked like a curveball in the dirt.
Bounced a couple of these this afternoon, and Aaron Sevilla trying to get over and keep that ball in front of him. It's a wild pitch for Romero in the American League last year. Much better at it this year.
Well, the Yankees have really taken advantage of some defensive lapses here today. Blue Jays have committed 2 errors. Ricky Romero has been charged with 2 wild pitches. Swisher fouls it off his front foot. As good as the defense has been in the first 2 games of this series, it's been a little shaky here this afternoon. Aaron Hill was charged with an error that allowed Curtis Granderson to score back in the 3rd inning. And then Yunel Escobar threw a ball over the first baseman's head on an infield single. That didn't prove to be costly, as Jeter would be stranded at second. Full count, 1 out. Yankees are up 4-1. Robinson Cano on base for a second time. That free call. Swisher didn't like that call. He's going to discuss it with the home plate umpire.
Ricky got him last time looking with a backdoor breaking ball. And this time inside, challenges him. Swisher thinks it's low, but you can see from that the 7th pitch catches just that bottom corner. 100 pitches now on the nose for Romero.
Bruce Walton out to talk about Andrew Jones. Jones, a right-handed hitter. First base is open. Left-hander Brett Gardner is on deck. Joe Girardi now out of the dugout to talk to the umpire, Todd Tishner. Girardi obviously concerned about Nick Swisher, saying, Nick, that's enough. We want you in the game. So Swisher delivered his peace of mind. The umpire then turned around, but evidently continued to harp at the home plate umpire from the dugout. But as we know, as we believe, he's still in the game. Andrew Jones is all over that pitch, but pulls it foul.
So Bruce Walton goes out to talk to Romero to remind him about Andrew Jones, what they want to do. There's also a left-hander on deck in Gardner. Do you think they're going to change the way they're going to pitch to Andrew Jones?
I think they gave him the option of either pitching around Jones or going after him. You know, give him a chance to put him on and then work to the left-hander. But Brett Gardner has a pair of doubles against Romero this afternoon. When you look at Gardner's numbers for his career against Romero, he is now 7 for 14. So it's not a real good option to put Jones on and pitch to Brett Gardner. If I were pitching to Andrew Jones, I'd stay hard on him. He slowed down a little bit later stages of his career. He's a smart hitter. He's going to hit breaking ball strikes, and he's got a little bit slower bat, so stay hard.
In up, I think. He's got that swing where he drops his back shoulder slightly, trying to lift the ball out of the ballpark. If you go up and away hard or up and in hard, I think you'll get a lot of fly ball outs. What you don't want to do is throw something soft, speed him up.
Curved ball. 2-2, 2 outs. Romero trying to leave Cano at second. Ricky Romero's only had one 1-2-3 inning. That was the first. Yankees have had runners on each inning, except that first inning. Fastball just missed the inside corner.
They try to go inside, and it's inside.
So now I think Andrew Jones cheats to the fastball. Just rolls the dice that Romero's going to try to throw him a fastball with this full count, knowing Gardner's got 2 hits already.
Good hitters, that's what they do. They think. They think along with the pitcher. They think situations. You get that by playing a lot of baseball.
Breaking ball. He gets a piece of it. Probably a ball, but with 2 strikes, you can't take. Got to protect anything close. Brett Gardner with 2 doubles stands on deck. Got him. Change up does it. Andrew Jones slaps his bat away in frustration. Arancibia puts the tag on him, and Ricky Romero strands Cano at second. Travis Snyder will lead things off. J.P. Arancibia and John McDonald. When we come back, Blue Jays trail by 3. July at 3 doubles that afternoon. If you want to get an autograph from Travis Snyder, all you have to do is go to Sears at the Toronto Eaton Center on Wednesday, July 20th. Travis will be signing autographs from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. at the Jays shop in Sears at the Toronto Eaton Center. Visit BlueJays.com for more information, but a chance to say hi to Travis Snyder and congratulate him on a great start since coming back from AAA. Snyder grounded out to third base his first time up. Fights it off.
It's a great chance for young hitters like Snyder. He's only had 4 at-bats against Sabathia. Thames to get their whacks against one of the best pitchers in the game. He's been so tough on left-handed batters this season as CC Sabathia. He's only given up 3 extra base hits to a left-hander in 20 starts this year. So if Snyder, who's hit a lot of doubles in his 7-game hit streak and a home run.
Out in front of that one, pops it up down the right side. Cano battling the sun, stays with it and makes the catch.
Save during the plumbing, heating, and electrical sale only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
One down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. J.P. Arancibia, the catcher, will bat. Mentioned Arancibia has a mini 4-game hit streak going. First pitch breaking ball. For Sabathia, he is so adept at changing his patterns during the course of a ball game. He'll give you 3 innings of power, 3 innings of finesse, and then he'll mix it up for the final 3.
And as a hitter, what do you lay on? There's nothing that you can just sit back on.
Popped up at Gardner. 2 down. Yeah, you get one at bat, you're thinking, I got to get the head out because he's throwing hard. And the next time you see him, everything is soft. And then the third time, you have no idea what to look for. That's exactly what he did the last time the Blue Jays faced him.
Really changed up on him, throwing more changeup. And you know what else? He throws strikes. He's got command of those pitches. He'll throw them for strikes. Fastball in and out, up and down. Breaking ball the same way, the changeup. You have to be able to command. This is his 60th pitch of the game, and we're in the 5th inning.
Yeah, everybody always looks at his innings pitched and says, wow, he's going to wear down, but he never throws many pitches.
No. In and out. Don't give him a whole lot of information.
That's popped out of play. Sabathia is into the 5th inning here. That'll take him up over 150 innings for the season. But he is not the leader in innings pitched in the American League. That distinction is held by the Tigers' great right-hander, Justin Verlander.
James Shields has to be up there also with all his complete games.
Shields has 142 2/3 innings. He is currently 4th in the American League. But it's the usual suspects: Verlander, Sabathia, Felix Hernandez, James Shields, Dan Heron, Jared Weaver, David Price.
Like clockwork.
Yeah. Year in and year out. They take their team deep in the ball games. They're up among the leaders in innings pitched and always among the leaders in ERA and strikeouts. McDonald in a hole, 0-2.
You know, they're up there in innings pitched. Every one of the guys you just mentioned, they throw a lot of strikes. They don't have games where they have 3 and 4 walks and they're out by the 5th inning. They just command that strike zone and allows them to go deep into their game.
Outside, here's a couple of newcomers to the top 10 you don't talk an awful lot about. Doug Fister of the Mariners. He's 8th. C.J. Wilson of the Rangers is 9th, and Justin Masterson of the Indians is 10th. The new breed of impact starters.
If you have a chance to get that Fister guy, his record is awful. Now, I'm talking about teams, you know. I think he's like 3-11. He's pretty good, though.
So is C.C. Sabathia. He has a 1-2-3 5th inning, picks up his 5th strikeout of the afternoon. The Yankees lead 4-1 as we head to the 6th, and a new pitcher, Sean Kemp, coming out of the Jays bullpen. Come to an end. He goes 5 innings. He gives up 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, and the Yankees really worked him over with the pitch count. They elevated that pitch count early.
Strikeouts helped in that. Got the pitch count up with the 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 107 pitches for Romero in the 5 innings. So he will leave, and Sean Kemp takes over. Saw him a couple of days ago against the Yankees where he pitched 1 inning. Also 2 outings ago picked up his first save of the season against Cleveland just before the All-Star break.
Through a 1-2-3 10th inning on Saturday before the All-Star break. Brett Gardner bunts it right out in front of home. Arancibia bobbled it, and that cost him. JP Arancibia bobbled the baseball, and Brett Gardner, running 100% every time he puts the ball in play, beat it out at first.
Just outran the baseball, and all it takes is that momentary lapse where you just can't get the ball out of the glove. It looked like the ball was spinning off the bat of Gardner as he bunts it right off the end of the bat. It's spinning. He picks it up, and he just doesn't get it cleanly. And that's all Gardner needs to beat it out.
Well, he really runs every time he puts the ball in play. It's 100% effort down that line.
Did you see that last bounce? It hit and spun away from Arancibia, and that's where he had the problem catching it and transferring it into his throwing hand.
It's a base hit for Brett Gardner. There's a quick throw. Gardner's always a threat to run, and he's been on a hot streak. He's recorded 9 straight steals. Early on, he really had a tough time. He got thrown out a lot, but lately it's been a different story.
Up over 80% since then. He's got a very aggressive lead over at first base. That's why Sean Gamp is keeping him very close. For his career, Gardner's success ratio in stolen bases is over 81%.
Blue Jays have had trouble shutting down the running game this year. Arancibia has caught just 7 of 52 base stealers, so 13.5%. Popped up behind home plate. Arancibia takes the mask off and gives way to Lind, who called him off. Russell Martin has been the center of controversy after the first 2 games. The catching instructor, bench coach, is Tony Pena. You can see Pena suggesting a different sequence of signs. And that's an outside indicator. Catcher touches his mask, then a chest protector, then goes to the finger signs. You can have all kinds of options that will be difficult to relay. And Tony Pena has used every single one ever invented. But it's all about a catcher's responsibility, and a catcher is responsible for protecting the pitches of his pitcher. Russell Martin basically admitted that. After game 1, he said, you know, it's something funny going on here. Blue Jays are probably relaying pitches from second. But then he finished up his comments by saying it's my responsibility as a catcher. Those thoughts were echoed by Joe Girardi before the second game on Friday night. But after the game last night, Girardi kind of questioned why the Blue Jays were hitting so well against his Yankee staff, and suggesting some parts you have to really be careful. There's a throw to second, not nearly in time, as Gardner really looked for a good jump and steals it. That's 10 straight for Gardner.
And 24 on the season. He's got that quick twitch muscle. Watch as he takes off right there, and in 2 steps he's in full blast. Straight steal as he's got his head down. He doesn't turn to see where the ball is at home plate. Slides safely.
24 for the season. Obviously, at this point, every run's a big run for the Blue Jays. They are down by 3 to the Yankees and CC Sabathia. Bounce to third. John McDonald takes his time, bounces it, and on the throw, Gardner moves to third. Cervelli is retired.
Tom McDonald does a good thing at third base where he sets his feet. He got a little bit more time on the corner. Sets his feet and gets enough on the throw and picked out of the dirt by Lind. If he tries to throw that while he's moving, That ball's going to tail on him, probably into the runner. Sets his feet, records the out over at first base. Good job by Lynn. That's 3 games in a row where he has saved an infielder by digging the ball out of the dirt.
He's really worked hard to recapture the skills of playing first base. That's where he played early in his high school and college days. So Jeter, second time he is batting with a man at third and 2 outs. Last time up, he had an infield hit to shortstop and picked up an RBI. Jeter now just 1 hit behind the Tiger great Al Kaline. 3,006 career hits. Grounded to Escobar. Jeter's out and Camp strands a base runner. Sean Camp keeps it a 3-run game. Blue Jays batting in the bottom of the 6th, trailed by 3. The 4th and final game of the series against the Yankees. The pregame show starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 9:30 a.m. on the West Coast. The Jays on Sportsnet. Yankees, Blue Jays. It'll be a Phil Hughes, Carlos Villanueva matchup. Great crowd here today at Rogers Center. 45,606 here on Saturday. And the Blue Jays and Yankees have attracted a big crowd all weekend long. 116,000 fans so far in the first 3 games of this series. Blue Jays need to get something going against CC Sabathia. Rajay Davis will try to do it. Davis in the leadoff spot for a second consecutive day. Jose Bautista has missed 2 starts, and because of that, Escobar's dropped to the 3-hole. Davis has moved up to lead off. Pops this one up center of the diamond. 1 down.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
CC Sabathia was red hot coming into this game. He had a consecutive scoreless streak of 23 2/3 innings at the start of the game. That went away in the first, but he has picked it up right after that. Blue Jays have but 2 hits.
He has won each of his last 6 starts. His ERA is under 2 with 51 strikeouts coming into this game. 10-1 over his last 11 starts.
Eric Thames in a hole, a couple of breaking balls. 0-2.
You can call it a stopper, your number 1, whatever you want to call it. Championship teams have pitchers like CC Sabathia. They stop losing streaks. You can count on them every time they take the mound. you feel like you have a chance to win. It's just a confidence level. Hitters know it. Fielders know it.
That's a fair ball. Teixeira has it, and he'll beat Thames to the back. 2 down. We mentioned the attendance over this weekend, 116,000 in the first 3 games. That's better than the 3-game series against the Philadelphia Phillies during interleague play. The Phillies were in town for a weekend series. They had a 45,000 crowd on Canada Day, 44,000 on Saturday, and then 26 on the series finale. So this is a great turnout for the first 3 of this 4-game series. You know, Escobar, he has 1 of the 2 hits. He's also walked, seeing the ball well against Sabathia. His average at 300. And we have talked about Sabathia all afternoon, how he has the ability to really reinvent himself during the course of a game. He came out in the first inning, tried to establish his fastball, and Blue Jays scored a run. Then he got into a groove, 1-2-3 second, had a quick third. Now he's mixing all of his pitches very effectively.
Getting into that groove, like you say. He's had a couple of complete games this year. First one was against Toronto back in May. He also had a complete game his last time out. That was a 1-0 game against Tampa Bay just before the All-Star break.
1-2. Drilled to center. Gardner got back quickly and makes the play. Another 1-2-3 inning for CC Sabathia. Sabathia with 13 wins leads the majors, looking for number 14 here this afternoon. The Red Sox and Rays, they'll be on Sportsnet East and West. The Phillies and Mets on Sportsnet Ontario. The Red Hot Angels, Mike Scioscia's Angels, will take on the Oakland Athletics. That'll be Sportsnet Pacific. And the White Sox and Tigers on Sportsnet 1. So if you want some baseball, you have a lot of choices on Rogers Sportsnet.
See some good teams also. Teams that are battling it out. Luis Perez will take over now after Sean Kemp has a very clean 6th inning. Perez was credited with his 3rd hold of the season. A couple of days ago against these Yankees when he pitched an inning and 2/3, gave up a couple of hits and had a strikeout. Perez has good numbers all the way around. A 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
Luis Perez, a rookie. He made his debut against the Red Sox at Fenway Park earlier in the season. He came into the game last night with 1 out in the 6th inning, gave up a base hit to Derek Jeter, but then struck out Curtis Granderson and got to share a ground out to end the 6th. He had a very good 7th inning. So Granderson will be the first batter to face Luis Perez. Curtis Granderson, we mentioned what a great start to his season he's had. 25 home runs. He's also had 7 triples. So 7 triples and 25 home runs in a season before the All-Star break. Just the 3rd major leaguer to do that. And this time he bunts it. Arancibia barehands it this time in time to get Granderson, and he's retired. Granderson left a little too close to home. Arancibia with the barehanded grab and a good throw to first.
Shows you the kind of athleticism that J.P. Arancibia possesses behind home plate. The ability to get out, get rid of that mask, and then catch the ball barehanded and create a throwing lane to get the out at first base. It's good play.
First baseman Mark Teixeira takes the first pitch straight. Teixeira is 1 for 11 in this series. His average down to 238. He has a unusual swing. He really has a pronounced uppercut and falls back on that back leg. And kind of an arm bar swing. Really uses his arms very well. And obviously he's had a lot of success.
From the right side. From the left side, he's a switch hitter. He's more of a hands type of hitter. This shows you how strong he is, that he can lift the ball out of the ballpark right-handed. Big forearms, big hands. Watch how that back shoulder drops a little bit and bars out. That means that that elbow straightens out, that front elbow. Bars out a little bit and just lifts the ball. When you see that, you can throw high fastballs. Or jam them. But I'll take them any day.
No, we're not complaining.
No, not complaining at all. Just trying to break it down a little bit.
But he does have an unusual swing. But it works.
It's from an open stance. Closes up now a lot like Travis Snyder's doing.
He shoots that one into left field. Snyder gets over and cuts it off. Teixeira has his 2nd hit of the series. Mark Teixeira has homered from both sides of the plate 6 times as a Yankee in the same game.
Here's the swing once again. Open stance, closes up, and then handles that low ball, that low pitch. You see him on that back leg a little bit, just lifting the ball, creating some top spin on the baseball.
Great example of there being many different ways to get it done. Robinson Cano. You'd like to be able to say, okay, I want you to learn how to hit like a left-handed hitter, and I want you to have a swing like Robinson Cano. Can't just snap your fingers and do that.
And as a switch hitter, you've got to practice twice as hard as everybody else.
Bouncing ball to short. Escobar to Hill for 1. Back to first. Not in time. 2 outs. Escobar with the feed to Aaron Hill came across the bag and didn't get much on the throw to first.
Right at Escobar, gives him a good feed, but you're right, coming across the bag just doesn't have enough on it to get it across the diamond. And Cano will beat it out and keep the inning alive and end Luis Perez's afternoon.
So Perez goes 2/3 of an inning. And he'll turn things over. The scheduled batter is the switch hitter Nick Swisher. So Frank Francisco, the hard-throwing right-hander, will come in to make Swisher hit as a lefty. It's the 9th inning of that Blue Jays win. Gave up a 2-out base hit, but nothing more.
And he will turn around Nick Swisher from the right side. Swisher hits 100 points higher than from the left side. So Farrell brings in Frank Francisco. And Francisco will get some work here.
It's only a 3-run deficit. Blue Jays trail by 3. Broken bat grounder. Hill. Francisco needs one pitch to close out the inning here in the 7th. The Blue Jays will bat bottom of the 7th, trailing CC Sabathia by 3. Win, and when you look at the active win leaders, Sabathia is right there, 170 wins. He's 28 behind the leader, Tim Wakefield, but look at the age difference. CC Sabathia, 5th on this list, is just 30 years old.
Won't turn 31 till next Thursday. Got an early start. He was 21 when he first got to the big league, so he has an outside shot, I think, at winning 300 games, which would put him in the Hall of Fame at just 30 years old.
Very durable, and again, in command. Just 2 hits. Adam Linton has one of those 2 hits. He hit a slider through the hole on the right side. Singled in to right. One thing the Blue Jays haven't done in this series, haven't hit a homer. They hit 5 in the 4 games prior to the All-Star break against the Indians. No Jose Bautista in this lineup. In case you just joined us, Bautista has missed his 2nd game with a sprained ankle. The reports today were very positive, and he addressed the media, suggesting that he is much better today than he was yesterday. I still think it'll be Tuesday before we see Jose Bautista. Blue Jays have a day off on Monday. And if you give Bautista tomorrow off, then he will have an extra day with the off day to mend that ankle. Off-speed pitch. Lynn strikes out for a 2nd time this afternoon.
Here's the thing that I keep thinking about with Jose Bautista. It's his right ankle. And we know about how he really loads up on that back foot. And there's a lot of pressure and a lot of torque on that ankle that he supports when he's starting to swing. The last thing John Farrell wants from his big slugger is him to get into some bad habits when he's not healed.
Yeah, you have to make sure they're 100%. The Blue Jays have always been very conservative. You know, all you have to do is look at Brett Lawrie and how long it's taken him to come back from a fractured bone in his hand. Lawrie played his 2nd game last night, and he broke his hand on May 31st.
You know, as a hitter, if you don't have the good base, the good strong legs to get you in a good hitting position, you can start messing up your swing.
the DH. Edwin Encarnacion is struck out twice. Of course, CC Sabathia is locked in here in the 7th.
Again on pace, about 12, 13 pitches an inning. Get in, get out. The last base runner was back in the 4th inning after a single by Adam Lynn.
Boy, there's no doubt about where Francisco Cervelli wanted that last pitch. He slid to the inside corner and accentuated the target right on the belt buckle of Edwin Encarnacion.
Slide inside. Give it to me right here. Get it up. He missed it, but he's got enough juice on the pitch to have him foul it off.
Well, there's nothing I hate worse than a catcher who kind of gives you that limp wrist target, and it doesn't say anything to the pitcher about, hey, I want it right here. Cervelli never falls into that trap. Cano behind second. Encarnacion is retired. 2 outs.
Save during the plumbing, heating, and electrical sale only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
When you talk about a catcher giving a good shot of his glove to the pitcher, and you talk about the wrist, you don't want to see the backside of his glove. You want to see the pocket where you want to throw the ball.
And he presents it in a fashion where it looks like a bullseye. Something for the pitcher to zero in on. Aaron Hill has flied out and lined into a double play. Cervelli's good to throw to. He bent his glove down just a bit to give the umpire an idea that it might be a strike. Boy, he is directing the show behind there, isn't he?
Gets down low like that. We learned that from his catching instructor, Tony Pena. This is Pena when he was with the Pirates on the right. Look how low he got and how he presents a low strike. Francisco Cervelli the same way here this afternoon.
That glove is right on the hitter's kneecap, the bottom of the strike zone. Also, what it does, and Pena knew this very well, it gives the umpire a clear field of vision. The catcher is down low. The umpire look right over the top of Cervelli. See the strike zone, see the entire plate.
And you'll get that low strike when the umpire can get a little bit lower also.
When catchers really need to get inside, once in a while they'll tap an umpire on that left shin guard and say, hey, I need some room in here. I got to slide to the inside. There's a 2-out walk. Sabathia has issued 3 walks now. Blue Jays have mustered only 2 hits against the big left-hander. Travis Snyder 0 for 2. Goes after that breaking ball. Travis Snyder has a home run against CC Sabathia coming in this game. He was 2 for 4 with a homer. Blue Jays need another base runner. Another breaking ball just off the outside corner.
And that's something from Snyder that we haven't seen since he has come back. He is really pulling off that breaking ball now again, off the left-hander.
Snyder in a hole, 0-2. Blue Jays 2 outs here against Sabathia. Ball down in the dirt. If you think the Yankees bullpen is concerned with Sabathia on the mound, I would say not. They're all perched up there in a seat. They got their caps off, sunglasses on. It's almost like a guaranteed off day.
Yeah, sitting out there getting some sun. I mean, nobody is down on the mound working, getting loose.
Snyder strikes out. Sabathia strikes out a pair here in the 7th. He has 7 on the afternoon. And he leads the Blue Jays 4-1. At Rogers Center this afternoon, 45,606, second only to the opening day crowd against Minnesota. Beautiful crowd, beautiful ball game. Blue Jays on the wrong side of a 4-1 game. CC Sabathia has held them to a single run on 2 hits.
They have not gotten a runner to third base since that first inning against Sabathia. A lot like yesterday, where the Yankees were just 2 for 9 runners in scoring position. They didn't have a runner get past first base from the 3rd inning to the 8th inning against Blue Jay pitching. They've turned the tables on Toronto. The Yankees have this afternoon.
Andrew Jones got the start against the left-hander Ricky Romero. Late on a fastball. Jones had a good series. He had 2 starts in the series so far. Thursday night against JoJo Reyes. He has 5 ribbies in the series. Had a 4 RBI game with a pair of homers on Thursday night.
6 home runs, 17 RBIs. All of that against left-handers this year.
Goes after that fastball from Francisco.
This at bat for Andrew Jones. Just his 23rd against a right-handed pitcher this year.
Outside. 2-2. Andrew Jones leading off the 8th inning. Blue Jays riding a 5-game win streak. Brett Gardner has been a thorn in the Jays' side all series long. He's on deck. 3 more hits this afternoon. Rajay Davis makes the catch in left center. Jones is retired. So Brett Gardner, pair doubles, a bunt single. He has a steal. He scored a run. And he started in center field to give Curtis Granderson half the day off. Granderson serving the role of the DH for the first time.
You see his average now up to 280. Brett Gardner, I'm going to make a prediction. That's going to be 300 by the end of the season. He just runs too well. Just get the ball on the ground and he could run 300.
The end of April, Blue Jays faced the Yankees in New York. Gardner was batting ninth, hitting 169. And you knew that wasn't going to stay there for a long time. And you're right, he can run 250.
He doesn't bunt a lot. And I think that's the next phase in his development as a player, when he learns to bunt, drag bunt. His agent, Joe Bick, told me about him a couple of years ago and said he's a lot like Brett Butler. Remember Brett Butler with Cleveland, Atlanta, the Dodgers, the Giants? Takes a lot of pitches. He's got a lot of speed, and Butler really developed when he got to the big leagues that part of his game, bunting. Every day he'd be out there bunting a bucket of baseballs, and he got pretty good at it.
I think Brett Gardner's got a little more strength, a little more pop in his bat than Brett Butler. But they were both explosive on the bases.
They could create runs with their legs. We saw that from Gardner this afternoon when he ran into that bloop double first time up.
Well, he's hitting with a lot of confidence. When we saw him early in the season, there was an awful lot of doubt. He was chasing bad pitches. Now he's confident, lays off the borderline pitches, waits till he gets a good pitch to hit. Right there, he's asking the ump about that last pitch. Pretty good pitch to hit.
If he ever develops a swing where he hits the ball in the ground to the left side on the infield, he's going to get a lot of infield singles.
There's one on the left side. Look how quickly. Boy, that's a different level for Yunel Escobar. There was a time when he would plant and try to throw it 100 miles an hour. But that time he knew Gardner runs well, and he just took it and threw it a la John McDonald.
Like he was turning a double play. He gets in front of it, and from a flat-footed position, look how much zip he's got on that ball, and he beats him by a step.
Boy, he has really taken his defensive play to another level. When you take care of shortstop the way Escobar has, that certainly alleviates a lot of concerns.
Such an important position in the diamond. You're involved in so many plays. Turning the double play, cutoffs and relays. You have to have great range because you have so much field to cover, and then have a strong arm to get the out.
This is popped up. Aaron Hill, the second baseman, is back. And reaches back over his head, makes the catch. Frank Francisco has a 1-2-3 8th inning. Now it's time for a Jays Connected update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Hall of Fame induction of Robbie Alomar. That'll take place on the 24th of July. Sunday, July 31st, Texas Rangers will be in town. It'll be Roberto Alomar Hall of Fame Day here at Rogers Center. There'll be a pre-game ceremony honoring Robbie Alomar. The first 20,000 fans will receive a Roberto Alomar Hall of Fame bobblehead. For tickets, call the Blue Jays directly at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations for tickets to Roberto Alomar Hall of Fame Day here July 31st. Rogers Sportsnet will be there at Cooperstown a week from tomorrow to cover the induction of Roberto Alomar. Pat Gillick and Bert Blyleven, Jamie Campbell, Greg Zahn will be on site to bring you everything from Cooperstown.
Robbie was in the house this morning talking to some fans down here at the ballpark, and then I got a chance to talk to him just before batting practice today. Greg Golson takes over in left field for Andrew Jones. Golson can really run. He's got an excellent arm. He'll take over defensively here in the 8th inning.
There's that high fastball that gets Aaron Sebia. That's the 8th strikeout of the afternoon for C.C. Sabathia.
Bunch of strikeouts, bunch of different ways. He can get you with the changeup, the slider. This time will go upstairs to get Aaron Sebia for the first time. We talked about that. He's a master at getting ahead early with his stuff and then expanding the strike zone, getting that batter to chase. Every one of his strikeouts this afternoon have been swinging strikeouts.
Testimony to the quality of his pitches. And remember, the Blue Jays have been swinging hot bats. They came into this game scoring 23 runs on 31 hits. Sabathia, 1 run on 2 hits.
Everything they were hitting the first 2 games in this series to score those 23 runs for finding holes.
Sabathia economical with his pitches as well. He is pitching here in the 8th inning and just now reached the 100 pitch plateau. I don't think Sabathia worries about number when you talk about pitch count. Side still got 96 with the heater.
In the 8th inning, his season high in pitches for a game, 119. That was against the Tigers back at the beginning of May. But he'll throw 9 innings and be around 113, 115 pitches.
3-2. C.C. Sabathia threw a complete game shutout his last time out. A 1-0 game against Tampa Bay and James Shields. That was the first complete game shutout at home by a Yankee pitcher since Chin-Ming Wong, July 28th of 2006. It's a long stretch. John McDonald to left field. Golson's not going to get it. Bounces back all the way to the wall. McDonald headed for second. A double for John McDonald, his 5th of the season against his former teammate C.C. Sabathia.
He fought back from 2 strikes against Sabathia, and with a 3-run lead in the 8th inning, he's going to challenge him with a fastball, and Johnny Mack has turned on a few of those this year. Another extra base hit from McDonald as he hits it to left field. Golson has to play it on a hop, and his momentum takes him almost to the wall. Now McDonald will cruise into second base with his 5th double.
1 out, back to the top of the order. Larry Rothschild is going to wake up that bullpen. They have taken the afternoon off with C.C. Sabathia in charge.
They have a couple of options. Mariano Rivera, obviously, in the 9th inning. But David Robertson, the All-Star, has done a very good job late in the game for the Yankees.
Bouncing ball. Jeter has to wait on it. Davis can run, but Jeter unloads in a hurry and throws out Rajai Davis. 2 outs. With 2 outs, David Robertson is starting to loosen up. As Pat mentioned, Robertson has done a good job, made the All-Star team. He was on the mound when Jose Bautista made that sliding catch down the right field corner in Arizona. Eric Thames, his first action against CC Sabathia. He's gone 0 for 3. Lays off a tough pitch. Cervelli thought it might have caught the outside corner. Ball on a strike. Thames would love to get on base here with 2 outs.
And give Escobar a chance to tie the game up with 1 swing. Sabathia has been tough on lefties.
Lefties have hit 194 against CC Sabathia, and he's done a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. Only 5 home runs allowed all season long.
1 of them to a lefty.
2 balls and a strike. Thames took the close pitch, knowing his job is to get on base. Now he's got to battle CC Sabathia. You saw Escobar on deck. Into center. Brett Gardner got a good jump and makes a fine running catch. Takes a hit away from Eric Thames. Great acceleration from the center fielder. Thames hit it on the button, but Sabathia gets out of the 8th. Gardner has good speed and got a good jump on this. Takes it shoulder high to end the 8th. Waiting another first, only from Rogers.
Well, the first thing you want from a shortstop is his athletic ability, and we saw that early in this game from Escobar. Not only is he a good fielding shortstop, looks like he could go to gymnastics also with that cartwheel.
A good job as he reacted to an errant throw and gloves it and stays on his feet with the somersault. Boy, he's had a good afternoon with the glove at shortstop. John Roush will come on. He'll be the 4th Blue Jays reliever to work here this afternoon.
Roush has been installed as the closer right now by John Farrell. 7 for 10 in save opportunities this year for the big right-hander. Last time John Roush has been on the mound, this is the first appearance since the All-Star break. Back on the 9th, where he blew that save in Cleveland, hitting a couple of hits and an earned run. But right now, he's been installed as the closer and now just getting some work.
Trying to keep the Blue Jays in striking distance. If you look ahead to the bottom of the 9th, Escobar, Lind, and Encarnacion. the heart of the order to bat. So now John Roush trying to keep the Yankees in check. Francisco Cervelli 0 for 2 with a walk this afternoon. He also has a stolen base. More importantly, he's handled CC Sabathia to the tune of 1 run on 3 hits.
That is where his value has been this afternoon. Receiving the baseball, commanding the game.
High fly ball into center field. Davis, an easy play, 1 out.
Anything offensive is a bonus. Mariano Rivera, we've seen this a few times over the years now, just starting to get loose here. He's got that medicine ball, that heavy ball that he will work with to loosen up his arm and then pick up the baseball and start to get loose.
Pretty good security blanket for Joe Girardi to have number 42 down there at the back end of your bullpen. Derek Jeter 1 for 4. Make it 2 for 5. Derek Jeter with that base hit has tied the great Al Kaline. Tied for 26th on the all-time hit list with 3,007 hits.
3,007, a single right back through the middle. He also has an RBI this afternoon that ties Tony Lazzeri for 8th place on the Yankees all-time list in RBIs now with 1,160 RBIs. So the numbers just keep rolling on for Derek Jeter.
Curtis Granderson takes a strike. We mentioned Granderson with 7 triples and 25 home runs before the All-Star break. Just the 3rd major leaguer to do that. Willie Mays and Eddie Matthews the others.
Willie Mays, I could see 7 triples.
Eddie Matthews was a very good player at a young age in his career. Elite company for Curtis Granderson. Fool on the outspeed pitch. Granderson has also hit 25 home runs. That's the most home runs by a Yankees center fielder since Bernie Williams hit 26 in 2001. He's got a chance to shatter that record.
Got a very short and compact swing. Generates a lot of power from his bat speed. He's tall, but he's lean.
It's jammed on that pitch. Ball in, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Granderson as the DH for the first time. He has taken his game to a new level since joining the Yankees. The base hit into right field. Jeter will stop at second.
There was a time in his career where he had a lot of holes in his swing. He was still very productive. But now, since coming over to New York, he has become a pull hitter. Get the head of the bat out, and that's exactly what he does right there against John Roush.
Anderson made his 2nd All-Star team. First time he was selected as a starter. Now Mark Teixeira. Teixeira singled his last time up against Luis Perez, batting as a right-handed hitter. He bats left-handed for the first time in this game. Chance to look at the difference with his swing. Pat broke it down, saying he uses his hands a little more effectively from the left side.
A little bit more upright. Still looking to yank the ball. Meaning he's going to try and pull the ball to right field.
Drives this one up behind home plate. Aaron Sebia flips the mask off, makes the catch. Teixeira's retired.
Save during the plumbing, heating, and electrical sale only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners.
2 down now, 2 on for Robinson Cano. Yankees have 10 hits this afternoon. Cano had a single in the 3rd inning. Jeter at second, Granderson at first, 2 outs. Robinson Cano 0 for 3 against John Roush in their head-to-head matchups. John Roush is not overpowering. He's not the kind of guy that's going to blow you away with his velocity, and he really understands the art of pitching. Sinks the fastball, cuts the fastball, changes speeds with the curveball and changeup.
Comes right over the top, and he's 6'10". It seems like the ball is right on top of you when he lets go of the ball. Lefties, he stayed away from him this year. Cut the ball a little bit more than what we have seen in the past.
Mariano Rivera appears to be ready. You can see he's got that cut grip fastball. That time he's going to throw a 2-seamer. Blue Jays got to Mariano as he gave up 2 runs in a ball game earlier in the season here at Rogers Center. Blue Jays would win it in extra innings. Another cutter right in on the hands of Cano. Blue Jays bullpen has held the Yankees in check. Sean Kemp, Luis Perez, Frank Francisco, and now John Roush have kept the Yankees off the scoreboard. Two and two. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th. Escobar, Lind, and Encarnacion, the scheduled batters. Escobar has 1 of the 3 hits. Lind has 1 of the 3 hits. Encarnacion has gone 0 for 3. Blue Jays won the first 2 games of this 4-game series. And the Yankees really took advantage of some shaky Blue Jays defense early in the ball game.
There was an error on a throw to the plate when Granderson was at third base trying to score as the runner got in a rundown between first and second. Aaron Hill was charged with an error. The throw got by J.P. Arencibia. There was also an error by Escobar on an infield single by Derek Jeter that scored a run in the 4th inning. And then they turned it over to CC Sabathia. And Sabathia has shut him out.
Come on and missed. Cano strikes out. He's tagged out at the plate by Arencibia. So John Roush continues a very good afternoon for the Blue Jays bullpen. He strands 2. Blue Jays are down by 3. Mariano Rivera standing ready in the bullpen. Escobar, Lind, and win. That leads the majors.
4 hits, one of them a double, 8 strikeouts, now 41 strikeouts over his last 4 outings in line for the win. Mariano Rivera, we have seen this before, 22 for 26 in save opportunities for the great Mariano Rivera. Just 5 base on balls all season long in 36 games for Mariano Rivera. Get in and get out, that's what his mantra is.
You see where he ranks on the all-time save leaderboard. Trevor Hoffman over 600 with 601. Mariano Rivera 20 behind. Ray Smith, John Franco, Billy Wagner. Rivera the only active player on that top 5 list.
He has reached 20 saves now 15 times in his career, which ties Trevor Hoffman for the most 20 save seasons in baseball history. And the most amazing thing about all the numbers that Mariano Rivera has put up in his illustrious career, he's done it basically with 1 pitch.
The cut fastball and exceptional command of that cut fastball. 19th of April, Mariano Rivera was into a ball game here at Rogers Center with a 5-3 lead, trying to protect an A.J. Burnett win. Blue Jays scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th on 4 hits off of Rivera. Yunel Escobar started that rally with a double to center field. The first run of that inning scored on a wild pitch. The second run on a squeeze bunt by John McDonald. That tied it up, sent it into extras. The Blue Jays would win on a Travis Snyder walk-off double. An exceptional late movement.
And the thing about it, when you see cutters, it's supposed to look like a fastball and move away from the hitter if you're a right-handed batter. The thing about Rivera, his cutter goes away and down. And that's why it's so hard to get good wood on the ball. Not only does it go away from you as a right-handed hitter, it goes away and down. It's almost like a hard slider, but it looks like a fastball.
It's tough to pick up the spin, but everything's the same. You know it's going to be a cutter. You just got to stay on it.
And he's done a few things over the years, you know, not to reinvent himself, but just to make things a little bit more difficult for the hitter. He's tried to front door that cutter against the right-handers. He's tried to backdoor it against the left-handers. He's tried to go up and down, but basically it's the same thing.
And there's that front door cutter. Freezes Escobar first out of the 9th inning.
As a hitter, as you're looking for that ball away, you know it's coming, and then he starts one right at your belt buckle and then cuts it over the inside part of the plate. That's the type of reaction you get from Escobar right there on the inside corner as he turns away from it.
And he is always around the plate, so umpires have a tendency to anticipate strikes. 1 out. Blue Jays with just 3 hits. The accusations throughout this series have been that the Blue Jays are somehow relaying pitches to the batters even without base runners on. Yesterday after the game, Joe Girardi was talking about the possibility of some other outside information cameras maybe in the building, and Girardi said, hey, you got to protect yourself in certain ballparks. Lind has a base hit as he fights off that inside cutter. His second hit of the afternoon. But the point being, if the Blue Jays are getting some outside information, they're not doing a very good job with it today.
Well, that's what good pitching does, and I think everybody knows that. You get good pitching, and it will stop good hitting. I don't care if you know what's coming. That time Adam Lind gets a pitch that's up and dumps it in the right field for his second hit of the ball game.
Encarnacion fights it off. Edwin has a home run against Mariano Rivera, deep center in Yankee Stadium.
Old Yankee Stadium, that black hole. There's the front door cutter once again. That was a bomb at the old stadium.
Oh, Edwin is swinging with a lot of confidence right now. You can see there's a different approach in his mindset at the plate. He might make some outs, but it's a totally different swing that we're seeing lately.
He might strike out, or he might pop the ball up, but it just seems like he's on everything.
Little looper behind Cano, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Lynn had to hold up. He can only advance to second, but the Blue Jays will bring the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the ninth inning.
Off the end of the bat, another cutter that's down and away, and Edwin stays on this one. Strong enough to get the ball into the outfield. Wasn't hit hard enough where the outfielder could run it down. Encarnacion will be pulled for the pinch runner as he delivers the base hit here in the ninth inning. Corey Patterson comes off the bench to take over for Encarnacion.
So Patterson with his spade can create some havoc should there be a ground ball on the infield. Aaron Hill 0 for 2 with a walk. Good look at that cutter down and away. Boy, he's done a good job of keeping that cutter right on that inside corner.
For those right-handers. And now you see that as a hitter, you have to start thinking inside or outside. Am I going to sit on that cutter in or out?
Travis Snyder on deck. Ball on the strike. Again, that inside cutter.
When you have the ability to do that as a pitcher, the hitter, the plate seems like it's about 3 feet long. That wide, because you're looking outside and he's got the ability now to come inside.
Really puts you in a tough spot if you're Aaron Hill. What side of the plate do you look for? You can't cover them both. Blue Jays have done a decent job with runners in scoring position in this series. They were 11 for 22 in the opener.
No stride right now for Aaron Hill, just trying to see the ball and make contact with it.
Blue Jays are trying to stay above 500. And they have a way of getting that tying run to the plate late in ball games. 1-2, 1 out. Quite a battle going on now. And you can see Rivera doesn't have the overpowering stuff in his prime.
No.
But he still has the great command. So he takes you off the barrel of the bat. Keeps you down around the end or up near the label.
Savvy. Been around. Throws lots of strikes.
And you can see that at 92-93, you still have the ability to put the foot on the ball.
And I like what Aaron Hill is doing right here. No stride, just use your hands. Track that ball as long as possible. Take away the power. Just make sure that you make contact and hit the ball hard.
Hill is just 1 for 11 against Rivera. Elevated the fastball and strikes out Hill. April 19th here at Rogers Center, Mariano Rivera had the blown save in the ninth. Ivan Nova pitching to Travis Snyder in the 10th.
Ball that was down, and he drills it into the gap in right center field. Edwin Encarnacion is going to come all the way around to score the game winner, and the Blue Jays have a walk-off.
Snyder takes a first pitch strike. In that game on April 19th, Travis Snyder was 0 for 5 at that point. Oh, 2.
Look at him move that ball around.
Repeal down at third, denied by Greg Gibson. Blue Jays have life.
Snyder likes the ball down. He's a low ball hitter. That double we just saw was a pitch that was down.
Fights it off and fouls it with the plate.
So Cervelli and Mariano Rivera going up, trying to get Travis Snyder to chase after it.
Snyder's had a good series with the bat. Even counting his 0 for 3 this afternoon, he is 5 for 11 against the Yankees. A little too much movement from Cervelli. That's a red flag for the umpire. Watch the glove.
He catches it and then tries to yank it to the outside corner, but it's way off the plate.
Poked foul. Jose Molina is on deck. The scheduled batter is J.P. Arancibia.
27 pitches now for Rivera here in the 9th inning.
Bounce towards short. Jeter has it on the run, and the Yankees win it. The Blue Jays got the tying run to the plate in the 9th inning, but Mariano Rivera picks up the save. That guarantees the win for CC Sabathia. Brett Gardner had another good day offensively. Sabathia wins his 14th of the season. That's the most in the majors. The Yankees win Game 3. There'll be a series finale tomorrow. We'll be right back here at Rogers Center. Now it's time for Jays Connected. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn.